Hello, welcome back to the channel. So, I often thought that because CSAT was not such a big hurdle, so I never need to make videos and lectures about it. But in the past 1.5 and 2 years, especially after 2021 prelims, I have come to realize that CSAT has been a major hurdle for people. So in this particular video, I'll tell you how to conquer CSAT, especially in the next 15 days and then on the D-Day. I'll keep this video short and concise. There is an important announcement at the end of this video, but it will not be of much use to you if you do not go through this entire video. So listen to it very carefully and then listen to the announcement at the end regarding CSAT. ठीक है, शुरू करें. So this is something that I have taken upon myself to tell you. So I have divided this lecture into 3 parts. What is to be done in these 15 days? What is to be done on the D-Day and the announcement. Okay, let's come to it at the end. Let's keep it a surprise. Okay, खैर चलिए अभी बात करते हैं CSAT की. तो देखिए CSAT का बहुत ही बेसिक फंडा सबको पता है. हम ये मान के चलते हैं कि 25 क्वेश्चन या ऐसे कह लीजिए 27 क्वेश्चंस पर हेड आपके आने हैं. व्हाट आर द 3 हेड्स? सबको पता है ये भी. रीडिंग कॉम्प्रीहेंशन, रीजनिंग, क्वांट. सिंपल है. 27 क्वेश्चन पर हेड आपके आने हैं. तो अगर इनमें से 2 पार्ट्स को पकड़ लो आप तो 54 क्वेश्चंस बनते हैं. ओके, लोग कहते हैं कि 2 चीज़ आप पकड़ लो, उन 2 चीज़ों को ठीक कराओ और आपका CSAT हो जाएगा. ये बिल्कुल बकवास चीज़ है, बिल्कुल बकवास स्ट्रैटेजी है. अगर आपका मैथ्स और रीजनिंग इतना ठीक है कि आप इनके 54 क्वेश्चन 54 क्वेश्चन पकड़ोगे और यहीं से आप मे बी 45 ठीक कराओगे, तब तो स्ट्रैटेजी आपके लिए काम कर सकती है कि आप RC को टच ही मत करो. ओके, बट अदरवाइज हाउ वुड दिस वर्क फॉर यू? इफ़ यू आर नॉट गुड इन क्वांट एंड रीजनिंग, हाउ कैन यू अवॉइड RC completely? And on the other hand, if you just pick RC and reasoning, but there are some very simple questions in quant which can just be solved within a matter of maybe 30 seconds. So why are you falling into this trap of just picking up 2 things? Now listen to me. I'll give you a strategy which is known as the 3-list strategy. Okay, this 3-list strategy specifically for quant and reasoning. Now listen to this very carefully. In the next 15 days, whenever we practice any CSAT paper, any CSAT question, what you need to take care is that you need to divide your reasoning and quant topics into 3 lists. The lists will be called A, B and C. Wow, very innovative. A, B, C. Khair. ठीक. Sorry. So, what will be in list A? In list A, you will have your best and strongest areas. In list B, you'll have your kind of madhyam marg wali cheezein, the mid ones. And in the C, you will have your weakest or dumbest areas, the toughest ones. This list will be personal to each and every one of you. For example, if you ask me, I keep questions such as blood relations, direction, ratio proportion, percentage, interest in this particular category. Then in this category, I keep questions such as time, speed, distance, work and distance, that work wala questions, then pipe and cisterns. Then in this particular category, I keep probability, P and C, and then that boat streaming sometimes I keep in this category also. And then lastly, those diagrams and count the triangles, count the circles wala questions. And then so I have a clear list defined in my mind. What happens when you have a clearly defined list? In the year when I got whatever these marks were, 136 something, I attempted 56 questions and I got 55 correct. Okay, wow, what a big deal. No, it is not a very big deal. Why is it not a big deal? Because I didn't even touch questions that I thought were very tough or would take my immense time. So I was able to attempt a decent enough number of questions also, and that too with good accuracy. I attempted almost nearly 15 to 16 RCs and got all of them correct. And the rest 41 questions, 42 questions were attempted from quant and reasoning, but only from the topics that were contained either in the easy list or in the mid list. I didn't touch the tough ones, and thus I didn't get any negative marking. So in the next 15 days, you have to build this particular 3 list strategy for your own self. Whenever you are solving any question, see this. If you are able to solve it, if you are able to solve the questions from this particular topic and categorize it into the following lists. Please do this whenever you are solving a question. Don't specifically sit for it, because from now to the next 15 days, if you are weak in CSAT, if you are scoring less than 80 marks in any of your prelims examination or 82 marks, then you need to dedicate at least 1.5 hours daily from this particular day to your examination day. Not on the examination day, we'll come to that later, but till 27th you have to daily dedicate some particular time to CSAT, which should not be less than 1.5 hours. All right, that's the first thing. So whenever you are solving a question in these 1.5 hours, it should come under any of these categories. Now comes the very important thing, which is how will you implement this particular list strategy on the D day. Whenever you see your CSAT paper, I'll talk about how to start it. Should you start it with comprehension or should you start it with non-comprehension? We'll talk about it in the second part. But let's talk about the 3 list implementation now. Whenever you get your CSAT paper and you start scrolling through the quant and reasoning questions, as soon as you see a question that is from the easy category, solve it then and there. Solve it then and there. Then as soon as you see a question from your middle category, start solving it. If you are able to solve it in one go, that's okay. And if you're not able to solve it in that particular go, skip it. Skip it for at least that particular time. You have to write this. Okay, you have to write this on the paper. Either write ABC or write easy, medium, tough. You should remember this. And as soon as you see a tough category question, completely skip it. Do not even give it 1 second. Do not even read the question. Why am I saying this? I am saying this because CSAT is all about knowing what to attempt and what to leave. More than knowing what to attempt, CSAT is about what to leave, because ultimately you will be attempting only a certain number of questions, and if you attempt such questions where your accuracy is not high, what you'll end up doing is marking them incorrectly, and this will reduce your chances drastically and dramatically, and we do not want that. So as soon as you see a question, classify it, just write it, just write over it E, solve it then and there, write M over it, try solving it. If you are able to solve it, very good. If not, just let it be for that particular moment, and whenever you see T, do not solve it. Okay, this thing is clear. Then move ahead and trace till the last of the paper, till the last question, because only if you save time by doing these 2 things will you be able to solve the questions as well, and you will be able to trace till the last question. Just imagine a scenario. If you are scoring 60 marks and you end up seeing that there were 4 questions in the end which were under the easy category, which were from the topic that was very easy for you, and you didn't solve them, you lost 10 marks. 10 marks is the difference between you and your mains admit card. Don't commit this blunder. You have to see till the end of the CSAT paper to go through each and every question that could have occurred. Okay, that's the first thing. Now let's talk about the second thing. Now let's talk about where to start the paper from. Should we start it from RC or should we start it from non-RC? See, before that, let's talk about RC. I have been teaching you RC and I have taken 2 lectures and I have completed the RCs of 2021, after which I have got such a positive and immense response in comments, in my personal chat and in my email also, mentioning that people have understood how to deal with reading comprehension. So if you are not already watching those videos, please watch them. Now let's come to the important part. See, if there are 27 questions from RC that are appearing in your paper, it all depends on what your accuracy in RC is. If you are someone who thinks that in 50 minutes, the maximum ceiling time for attempting RC is 50 minutes, not more than this. Not more than this in any case. However, it should be close to between 40 to 45, but this is the ceiling. You'll not give even a single minute above this, and only when only when you are able to score at least 40 marks. At least 40 marks from RC, you will be giving this particular time to RC. And scoring 40 marks is very easy. Let's see how. Suppose you are giving 50 minutes, you are touching the ceiling limit and you are giving 50 minutes to RC, and in these 50 minutes you are able to attempt 25 RCs. Okay, let's just consider a scenario that you take 2 minutes. 2 minutes is a good amount of time if you have practiced enough and if you know how to approach an RC. In my upcoming RC videos, I'll also teach you how to eliminate some options from the RC so that it becomes even easier for you. But talking about this point right now, 2 minutes per RC, you should have your clock on. We do this in mains. Whenever we are attempting a question, we see that we are just giving 7 minutes to it. Similarly, when you're attempting an RC, you should see that you are giving just 2 minutes to it, not more than that. In any case. Okay, so you are just giving 2 minutes to RC. You will solve 25 questions, 50 minutes. Okay, now in these 25 questions, if you are able to get correct 19 questions and you get 6 questions incorrect, okay, what will be your net correct? It will be 17, which will turn into what? 34 plus 8.5, that is 42.5. And this is what I asked you. I asked you 40 marks. In 50 minutes, you will be able to score 42.5 marks. Even by just correcting 19 out of 27 RCs. So, by giving 50 minutes to RCs, you are able to score 42.5 marks. But this is the bare minimum that you are able to correct 19 out of 27 RCs. And how will you identify this? How will you identify that you are able to score at least this particular amount of RC? This is nearly 70%, right? So how do you get a 70% hit rate in RC? You practice the previous year questions only. No test series, no mock, no जो भी वो होता है, nothing. Only previous year questions should be attempted in the case of reading comprehension. Sit with the reading comprehension daily for 30 minutes. Out of the 1.5 hours that you are giving, give 30 minutes to RC and solve 15 passages in these 30 minutes. Once you do that, you should be able to get at least 10 passages correct. If this is your number, if you are doing this consistently, then dear friends, you are going to attempt RC first. Okay, you will start with RC. You will do RC in the first 45 to 50 minutes max, around 45 minutes to 50 minutes max in the examination hall, and you will make sure that you are getting 40 marks. So within the first 45 to 50 minutes, you are sorted with the 40 marks and RC will become your strength. For this, you should watch the lectures that I have already been taken. They are very exhaustive and very helpful for people. This is not for my personal gain, but for your gain. I have made those lectures, you watch them or not, my time is gone. So now it is up to you if you want to take the benefit of them or not. Correct? Second point, you will practice RC daily. 1, 2. Now what is the third point? The third point is the final deciding point, which is that once the 2022 papers key are out, you will attempt RC. I will put the key, I will put the RC paper in the group. You will attempt it. You will sit for 50 minutes and attempt these RCs. Before that particular day, you should not even look at the 2022 CSAT paper starting today. In the next maybe 10 days, 10 or 12 days, the keys will be out. Before that, you should not even look at the 2022 CSAT paper, especially the RC ones. The maths and quant can be okay, but at least the RC part should not be looked at. You should only practice 2021 and before it, 2019, 18, 17. If you consider even 25 passages, even 5 years worth of passages will give you 125 passages. Right? And that's a good enough number. Is that clear? So for the next 9 to 10 days, just attempt nearly 15 passages daily. You will be done with nearly 5 to 6 years of RCs, and you will develop an understanding of reading comprehension. That's my guarantee. Identify your mistakes. If you are attempting 2021 today, you attempted 15 questions, you saw that okay, you got maybe say 9 correct. So identify what went wrong in these 6 questions. What was the UPSC expecting out of you? Then apply these learnings in the next day. Do this for the next 9 days. Take this 9-day challenge. I'll start it on the group. Take this 9 days challenge and you'll see a dramatic increase in our RC score. Once it is done, we will test it on 2022 paper and we'll finalize if we have to go for RC first or not. We'll finalize it only then. I'll make a separate video regarding it entirely and we'll finalize it then. Clear? Is that clear? So what have we learned till now? That in the starting 45 to 50 minutes, we will be able to score around 40 marks. Then we'll come to quant and reasoning and we'll directly apply the 3-list formula here. And by this 3-list formula, what we'll be doing is we'll be easily navigating through the entire paper, identifying the easy hit rate questions, and we'll be attempting them. Okay, out of 27 RCs, if you get 20, if you attempt 25, get 19 correct. Suppose you attempt another say 25 questions, or let's take a lower number, say 20 questions. 20 questions from quant and reasoning, and only from the topics that you are very comfortable with or you are a bit comfortable with. You should at least get maybe 17 correct out of here. So this will result into nearly 40 marks, and this will result into nearly again 16, net 16, right? Around net 40 marks. So here also net 40 marks, and you will score around 80 marks and you are done. So you have 45 to 50 minutes for this and even more time for this. Why are we giving more time to just attempting 20 questions? Because you'll have to navigate through the paper. Easy questions will be hidden, but in RC there is nothing called navigation. You just solve the questions one by one. Clear? Is that understood? Okay, is that clear? Now, there are some people who are not able to solve RC in one go. For them, what's the best strategy is that you can solve RC in 2 rounds. Solve the RCs first for 30 minutes, then for the next 1 hour solve quant and reasoning, and then for the last 30 minutes again solve RC. This is another strategy. Obviously, it includes the time to fill the OMR. That is that is something that should not even be mentioned. So I hope this is clear. These are the 2 strategies you'll have to figure out for yourself. I'll not be giving you a sure and certain strategy for this. Okay, I hope this thing is clear. So now there are 2 to 3 important things that you need to understand. The first thing is that in CSAT, obviously in GS also, but in CSAT even more, reading the question is very important. For example, there was a question this year which said that okay, there is certain sum of rupees and you have to make it out of denominations of 50, 20, 10, ऐसे करके कुछ था, and you have to just take out 50 notes and now बताओ इसमें से क्या ठीक है क्या गलत है, ऐसे कुछ करके question था. What people commit mistake is that they do not even read the entire question. They will just see this particular thing and do not deny it. It happens with people. Okay, it happens with people, and they just start calculating. Okay, 50 के कितने बैठेंगे, 20 के कितने बैठेंगे, 10 के कितने बैठेंगे. Question है ही नहीं वो. Question is not about this. Question is about checking through the options if this particular option is viable or not. So why are you wasting your time on this? यार वहाँ तो एक मिनट इंपॉर्टेंट है ना, वहाँ क्यों टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हो? तो क्वेश्चन ढंग से पढ़ लो, रीड द क्वेश्चन केयरफुली. Similarly, there are questions in where x, y and total ऐसे करके 3 वेरिएबल्स पूछे होते हैं. 3 वेरिएबल्स का जिक्र किया होता है. x votes goes to this, y goes to this, total votes go इतने हैं, इतने परसेंटेज इसको गए, इतने उसको गए. इसमें sometimes what they do is they ask for y and we end up calculating the total and marking the total. Sometimes they'll end a total, but therefore that we'll have to calculate y first, and we do not even see that they were asking the total, and we just mark y and do a major blunder. Okay, so this is something which is again very important. Question reading, that's the first part. The second part about question reading is that in a lot of questions not is written, which of the following is not the answer, and UPSC makes this option so carefully that if which of these is the answer was the question, then certainly that particular option will be in the passage, will be in the solution, and you will end up marking it as the answer, and you will again lose on your marks. So read the question carefully. Okay, then third is each year at least 2 to 3 questions come where by a simple understanding works that there are a few things that start with 0 and there are a few things that start with 1. For example, if it is said that maybe plant a certain number of trees between here to here, plant a certain number of trees, how would you plant it? You'll start it from 0, right? You'll start planting from here. You'll not start from 1. You'll plant the first at 0 meters, and then you'll plant the another one at 1 meter, and then there will be a distance between these. So you have planted 2 trees, but the distance calculated is just once. The gap is just filled once. So understanding this particular thing, that okay, some questions are there which starts from 0, and this can be done just by a bit of common sense, right? Similarly, there is a very peculiar question that UPSC asked. There is a frog trapped in a well. Each time it jumps to a certain height, then slips, then jumps to a certain height, then slips, then just jumps to a certain height, then slips. In how many jumps will the frog come out of the well? And what we do is we just calculate the difference. Maybe say if it jumps for 3.5 meters and slips by 0.5, so 3 meter. And what we do, if the well is of 300 meters, we'll say okay, 300 by 3, so 100 jumps, and the answer is 100. And we mark the answer as 100, and we get it incorrect. Each year we find such question, and each year people are losing marks on this. क्यों दिमाग में इतनी सिंपल सी बात नहीं जा रही है कि जब फ्रॉग का लास्ट जंप होगा तो उसमें बाहर ही आ जाएगा, वो फिर स्लिप क्यों करेगा? सो द फ्रॉग विल बी आउट इन द 99th जंप. 100 तो उसको रिक्वायर्ड ही नहीं होगी. But no, we are committing this mistake again and again and again. So these questions should be identified through PYQs. These patterns should be identified through PYQs. Okay, is this clear? These are very simple questions, just require a bit of a careful reading and a bit of a use of a common sense, a bit of a practice, which we'll be doing in the next 15 days. Clear? Is that clear? Is that understood? Now, another important thing that I want to talk about is the time between GS and CSAT. See, the time between GS and CSAT is very important. First things first, you should not look back at the GS paper. You should not discuss the questions and answers of the GS paper. You should not talk to people who are discussing GS. You should not panic and start solving a lot of CSAT questions. At most, what you can do is just sit with your notes and go through some formulas. Even if you want to avoid, you can avoid this and just relax. This is the best thing to do because maths, RC, these require high concentration, high focus. So the best thing is to relax, even sleep maybe, or take some good fruits. Hydrate yourself. Please do not take these things lightly. I'm not joking here. These are very important things. People lose on CSAT. Each year at least 1/3 people are eliminated because of CSAT, and even more. Even more. This is why the cutoffs are dropping. This is one important reason. So please listen to these things carefully. Okay? Just remember that there will be very high amount of heat in the entire northern, central, southern, northeastern India. There will be high heat. Please make sure that you are hydrated between the CSAT papers. Write these things down today so that you do not forget them on the D-Day. And do not discuss anything. Do not study anything. If you want to just relax, just eat something very light, some watery things, some fruits, and just relax. Okay, so this is between the two papers. Okay, now is the time for your surprise. Now is the time for an announcement. So what is the announcement? I guess abhi tak to matlab you would have figured it out. The announcement is that there are a lot of videos and there are a lot of people who tell you that identify the questions, solve the questions, solve only the easy questions. If I end this video right here, I'll also be one among them. but then how would I create a difference, or how would I be different? So to create a difference in your CSAT preparation, what I will do is I'll post maybe half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes of a lecture daily regarding quant and reasoning. Okay, and in this lecture I'll not be just telling you how to solve the questions, I'll also be telling you how to apply this three list strategy through UPSC previous year questions. So sit with me for the next few days. Take this lecture. Maybe they'll come on alternative days. One day I'll be talking about quant reasoning. One day I'll be talking about RC. Maybe they'll come in this particular sequence, but within the next 8 to 10 days, you will be feeling much more confident in CSAT. That's a promise. Okay, I'm not a mathematics teacher, but I love teaching mathematics. Okay, I'll not be able to tell you a lot of tricks and formulas, but I'll give you a very, very good conceptual understanding of things by which, by the use of which you'll not be roting down things. Okay, you'll not have to do rote learning of things. You will get some conceptual clarity regarding some things. You'll apply them, you'll score marks. That's my personal guarantee. ठीक है, नहीं रुकेगा CSAT इस बार. पता है मुझे कैसा लगता है. मेरे आसपास मेरे बहुत क्लोज लोगों का रुका है. आपका नहीं रुकेगा इस बार. ठीक है, पक्का. मेरा वादा है, मैं जान लगा दूंगा. बहुत अच्छे से CSAT पढ़ाऊंगा, बहुत अच्छे से मैथ्स कराऊंगा, बताऊंगा कैसे क्वेश्चंस करने होते हैं, कैसे क्वेश्चन स्किप करने होते हैं. ओके, आई टेल यू ऑल दीज थिंग्स. चिंता नहीं करो. लोग CSAT को लेके इतना परेशान है, बोल रहे हैं एग्ज़ाम छोड़ दें. नहीं, आई एम हेयर फॉर यू. विल डू थिंग्स, विल डू देम टुगेदर. हो जाएगा इस बारी. मैंने पिछली बार भी बोला था, इस बार भी बोल रहा हूँ, हो जाएगा. ठीक है, जस्ट फॉलो द थिंग्स दैट आई हैव सेड इन दिस वीडियो. अभी तक जो बोलता है उसको करो. एक तो लेक्चर मेरे आने दो. RC का आपने देख ही लिया है, आपको समझ आ गया है. क्वांट और रीजनिंग की ओर आने दो. आई लव टीचिंग मैथमेटिक्स, लेट मी टीच इट. फिर देखते हैं थोड़ा बहुत, क्या पता आपको समझ आए जो मैं पढ़ाता हूँ. ओके, 2021 का ही मैंने RC कराया है. सबसे पहले 2021 के ही क्वांट एंड रीजनिंग से स्टार्ट करते हैं. क्लियर? चलें, बंद करें. आई होप दिस वॉज हेल्पफुल. जो चीज़ें बोली हैं इनको अच्छे से अप्लाई करना स्टार्ट करो. अब डेली अपने अपडेट्स में अपडेट करो. जो आप अपडेट्स डाल रहे हो ग्रुप पे, डू इट देयर. एंड लेट्स कॉन्कर CSAT, because now we have understood CSAT, and what we understand, we conquer. This is Satyam Jain signing off. Till the next time, Jai Hind.